Facebook Nation. I don't know that you can see me as this video starts out because I'm washing my hands, but I am Prudence Caskey and I am with Santa Rosa County 4-H, and today I wanted to touch base with you. My son is calling my show Quarantine Cuisine. So today on Quarantine Cuisine, I don't know if we're stealing that from somebody else, but I thought it was hilarious. He's telling me he thought of it. It's genius. Anyhow, today on Quarantine Cuisine, we're going to show you a quick, easy, yummy way to eat yellow squash. Now, I do not like squash, and I know a lot of people are not going to believe that, but I just, that's not one of my favoriteest things. However, this time of year, there is tons of squash out. So I'm going to show you a quick and easy, fun way to make squash for even those that do not love squash. So this is a great, simple recipe. Now, I've got some squash from a friend of mine's garden that I grabbed his irregular ones. So you can see this one here is very fat and it would be kind of difficult. These aren't usually the ones you want to make squash casserole out of, which is my mother-in-law's favorite, and my husband's as well, to make the squash casserole. So I found this recipe out just playing around with a bunch of squash that we had. So I'm going to show you what I do with squash that even your youngins will eat it, even if they don't like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the ends off of both sides of my squash, and then I am going to slice it down the middle and expose the center of the squash. Now, because I am a Florida girl, I have a grapefruit spoon. Now, I'm not sure if everybody has grapefruit spoons or if this is just a Florida thing, but I use a grapefruit spoon to scoop out the seeds and hollow this out. So you just, now a grapefruit spoon, I will touch base on that a little bit. It's got little saws on it so that you can get down in there and get that grapefruit, the meat out of the grapefruit. I don't know if everybody has those or if it's just a Florida thing, I'm not sure. But so, I'm gonna scrape out the seeds, and this will go in a bucket for my chickens. Now, if you don't have a grapefruit spoon, if that is just a Florida thing, I have also in a pinch used a melon baller to get that nicely hollowed out there and get that meat exposed there for you. Now, I've already done one that we are going to fill. Now, what I've got here is a pan that you can use a cookie sheet with some tin foil on it. This pan and I have no idea what this is called, y'all, sorry, but it's got holes in it so that the air goes through, and I went ahead and I've sprayed it with some non-stick spray. Now, if you've watched any of my other episodes, you know Cavender's is coming. So I'm going to sprinkle some Cavender's on there. And then what I do is I have some bacon bits. And these are petite pepperonis, little bitty, tiny, the size of a dime, maybe even smaller than a dime pepperonis. And then some low-fat mozzarella cheese. And I'm just going to not totally fill the cavity, but just put a little bit in here, and you can use whatever toppings you want. If you want to throw, I've toyed around with putting some sun-dried tomatoes in there, and my husband likes mushrooms, so throwing those in there. And then what you do is you just put a little cheese on there, and it is that simple. And I have made a mess of these. So you throw that. I'm going to have to come around here and come to the oven. And I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. And you just throw that in there for about 20 minutes. And then what you end up with is a yummy looking squash treat that has bacon, and I'm not in the camera, bacon and pepperonis and some cheese, and it is a great afternoon snack or for lunch, and it's super healthy and yummy. So enjoy cooking, and thank you for watching this episode of Quarantine Cuisine with Santa Rosa County 4-H.